everyone. Rob Myers here again. Hopefully training's going well. Hopefully you've got your goals set and you're ready to just have some fun. I think these interviews are going to be fun. I'm going to do the first one, and then I think up next will be Alan Webb, and we'll just kind of keep rolling from there. So I'll go ahead and get things started. I'm going to read a list of questions that I got here in front of me, and I'll answer them for you, and we'll go from there. I started because my dad was a really good runner in high school, and then he ran in college. He was about a 4 flat miler. Growing up on the farm, on the back roads, he would take us kids out for, runs. Didn't think much of it, but just kind of ran with him. And we'd go to a lot of little local road races and stuff like that. And I grew up watching both of my brothers. Both of my brothers, they competed in high school and then went on both to compete in college. And, getting to see that kind of put me in advantage because I got to experience and see what it took. And so from there, I started my own career, and I started off pretty well. I made state 4 years in a row in track. I made it 3 years in a row in cross. I ended up winning 3 state titles, had multiple runner-ups. The perfect way for me to end my high school career, I felt, was I won 3 in a row, like cross, then the mile, and then the 8, all my senior year. And for me, that was a great way to finish. After that, I went on and ran at the Golden West National Meet in high school, and I won that in the 800. From there, I went on to run for Ohio State University, where I was Big Ten Freshman of the Year, NCAA All-American, multiple-time Big Ten champion. I had an up-and-down career there, but overall, I had some success, and that helped lead into where I got signed with a shoe contract. And I ended up running professionally for 10 years with 2 different shoe contracts I had over the course of 10 years. And yeah, I loved it. I got to travel and compete in 16 different countries all over the world. And, I became a 3-time U.S. national champion in the mile. And I made 3 different world championship teams, and I competed for the U.S. at multiple other events. So, yeah, I had a great career. Always wish I could have done better. I tried to do better, but, that's how it works out, I did the best that I could when I could, and I can be happy with that. My PRs, I got down to 3:53 in the mile, and I ran a 3:34 1500, 1:47 flat in the 800. I didn't really run the 800 that much. I pretty much just raced the mile for the most part. In high school, I went 15:36 for 5K. I don't think that's anything crazy, but it's just good enough to win a state title. I guess my high school 800 was a 1:51, and my high school mile was a 4:09. I was actually a low mileage kind of guy. We found out early on I couldn't handle high mileage. It seemed to me like anytime I got too high, I would get hurt. So we started to focus on a little bit lower mileage and higher intensity. That's not to say that I didn't try to get my mileage up, because that's the only way to improve is to try things and to push those boundaries. But for me, I think, in high school, I was 20 to 30 miles a week, and in college, I was 30, 40 maybe. Professionally, honestly, there was times where I wasn't doing much more than 40, 50. Sometimes, honestly, sometimes less, depending on, if I was banged up or not. I ended up having to do a lot of cross training because of injury. So I was in the water a lot. I did workouts in the water, aqua jogging wise, and then I would swim. So, put me on a bike and I probably would have been a decent triathlete just because I spent so much time in the water. But, you just have to do what you got to do to be successful. And I think every athlete's going to be different. Some athletes are going to be more high mileage. Some athletes are going to be lower mileage, higher intensity. And that's for you and your coach to try to zero in on. So I think that's really important, is figuring out who you are as an athlete. my best races always came if I could get myself in perfect position. And for me, perfect position was in that second, third spot, just really staying relaxed and kind of just relaxed and focused right there in the moment, hanging on, ready for that hard finish. I wouldn't say I was a front runner for sure because it just wasn't me. I was kind of the type of athlete that was hanging on, and then if I could get my adrenaline and excitement going at the end, I could kick pretty hard. All three of my national titles, I felt like I got myself in very, very good position and was able to just stay there and stay smooth. And the race honestly worked out really well for me. It could have gone a different way, and maybe I wouldn't have won. So I know, like college NCAAs, I got into horrible positioning and got out of the race and had to fight my way back up. And honestly, I didn't run as well as I thought that I could. So I think trying to find that perfect position is very important. But also you have to be able to adapt. And if something goes, different from plan, you got to make sure that you can handle that. I think the mental strategy is important as anything. You can be very, very fit, but if you're not fit mentally, it's probably not going to go that well. So for me, part of the mental strategy for me was just honestly daily meditation, daily like focus on different scenarios, race scenarios, how they would unfold, how I would handle them in that situation. And so for me, that was part of the mental strategy, is just going in with a good, strong, solid mental mindset. But as far as that goes, you also have to, you also have to have that mental strategy during the race, like race day. What's that going to look like for you? And for me, the mental strategy race day was to try to get my mind into a place where all I could think about, or all I was in the moment. So from warm up on, and I talk a lot about this with my own athletes, is from that warm up time on, you're in the moment. You're not thinking about what if the race doesn't go the way I plan it. What if this? What if that? Or what I had for breakfast? Or did I eat enough? Did I run right last week? You're not thinking about that. You're thinking about, okay, I'm in the moment. I'm up tall and forward. I'm focused on the things that need to be focused on. I've got some kind of saying. My athletes, or at least what I teach, is we have a saying that's in our head, and we repeat that saying over and over. And you just got to get yourself into that great mental state so that when you're in the race, you're able to just compete and do your thing. Well, I think disappointment, I think that's actually what probably separates champions from those who are not. And that's basically how you handle that disappointment, because everyone's going to get beat. I mean, that's the facts of life. Some people get beat less than others because maybe a talent level, or they've been trained better, or whatever, but you're going to get beat. And really what it comes down to is, how do you handle that? Like, I give my athletes a time frame, like, hey, you're only allowed to be upset about this race for, one day, and then you're moving on. All right. And honestly, I think that's almost too much time, really. But the point really is, take a defeat. Yeah. Be upset about it, but then move on. And more than move on, we like to try to use that as motivation. So one great example in my career was in high school. I came freshly off of winning a state title in cross. I was pretty on top of the world as far as my little world was, but I was pretty confident in myself. I had a really good indoor season in track, and then I went to outdoor track, and I was invited to the Penn Relays, and I thought I was going to go down there and just crush it and run really well and beat everybody. And I didn't. I went down there, and honestly, I got crushed, and it was a huge eye opener for me. I think that's honestly what forced me into a much better outdoor track season, because I could have gotten beat and cried about it for weeks and days on end and said, well, I'm just not that good. But what I did instead was, before I even got home, I mean, on the ride home, I was already getting angry and getting motivated and pumped up about, okay, that's it. This isn't going to happen again. I'm going to train harder. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to get more focused, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to pour it on. And that's what I did. I went home, and from that point on, my motivation level, it was much higher to train harder. So that defeat, honestly, was really, really important in that part of my career. And I think that, that should be the case for anybody, because you're gonna get beat from time to time. My best advice to you guys out there is, you're gonna hear a lot of questions about what's your favorite workout? What was the workout that made you ready to race? Workout. You're gonna hear that a lot. Realistically speaking, workouts are important. Don't get me wrong. But what is really, really important is just consistency over time. You don't have to always have these big, massive workouts week in and week out. You just got to be consistent. You got to be doing the work consistently, not taking shortcuts, and staying mentally strong consistently, and just sticking with it. That's really what this comes down to. And with this uncertain time right now, a lot of you are probably like on break mode. Hey, I'm just going to shut down. Well, think about this. You should be in a season right now, and that would be your normal, but you're not, because of the situation we're in. So now you have the choice. Am I going to keep working and stay consistent right now, even though I don't have a season? Or am I going to just shut down? Okay. And that's really important. Hey, buddy. Say hi. I'm also consistently a dad right now. So, but yeah, hey, that's my advice to you. Consistency over time. Just stay focused. Keep working. Don't get down on yourself, and you'll bounce back from this in no time. We'll end up having another season, or you'll have more seasons in your career. And hey, just don't stop trying. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Looking forward to the rest of our content. Hopefully you are, and we'll go from there. Say bye.
Bye, Doctor.